Hey y'all. So, this is another episode of The Catch in the Kitchen. It is Sunday, and I want to make a really cute Sunday dinner, but I want to be quick about it because we've been resting. Y'all, I didn't realize how tired I was. I took a nap midday, got up. I'm still kind of tired, but I've been pickleballing all week, and I've been getting good. So, inevitable, I'm going to be tired. But let's get to it. So, I'm going to tell y'all the ingredients for what we're making today. Okay, so I got these thick cut bone in. They're called Jumboy Cowboy Cut Ribeye Pork Chops from the grocery store, and they're pre-seasoned with Cajun seasoning. I got these because they didn't have any that weren't seasoned at that time. And baby, when you're making a pork chop, for me, a grilled pork chop, a thick cut bone in pork chop, it's so, when you make it right, it's so good. So a lot of the Caribbean people, some black folk, maybe some white folk, might judge eating prepackaged pre-seasoned
Seasoning
food.
food.
Y'all be judging. Leave me alone. I'm making it. I'm taking it out the pack. I might add a couple things to it. Oh, you did clean the meat. Da, da, da. They cleaned it. They seasoned it. They packed it. Y'all gonna leave me alone. Y'all not gonna harass me, okay? I'm tired. Y'all not gonna do me like that. So show me some grace and mercy, okay? So for the seasons, I'm gonna use some accent. Don't use accent. Accent that for you. Leave me alone. You don't gotta use it. This is what Bev gonna use because it has an umami flavor. It's basically MSG. I want to put that on the outside of it to kind of crust it and give it that umami flavor. But I'm believing because it's been pre-seasoned, it's going to be seasoned to the bone. So it's going to have full flavor, but you just need to add a little umami. And then I am going to put a little bit of some Cajun seasoning because I feel like it's not going to be as salty as I like. I could be wrong, but I'm going to throw a dash, like the slightest amount. You'll see, guys. And so then we also going to have us some mac and cheese, but not just any mac and cheese, not baked mac and cheese. We're going to have us like a Boston Market mac and cheese and shells, right? And so this is going to be a fun recipe. I saw this online and I want to try it. So for this recipe, I have organic. I think, what are these called, babe? I think they're like macaroni noodles, right? Like a
Not sure.
special version.
Yeah.
Organic macaroni
All
noodles.
I know
That's what
it
we're going to
says
call them.
Italian on
Italian. It looks like a thicker version of a macaroni noodle. I think this is similar to the noodle that they use at Panera Bread. So that's what we got for the cheese. Yes, I'm again. This is a quick dinner. I'm using packaged cheese, but I'm gonna show you guys what to do so that you can use pre-packed, pre-shredded cheese, and it still will not mess up the integrity of the mac and cheese. Mind you, it's a cheese sauce we're doing, so it should be fine. Butter, whole milk, smoked paprika, uh, what's
ground
this again?
black pepper.
Ground black pepper. Y'all, I'm really tired. Chicken bouillon. This is very important for the noodles, okay? Garlic powder. And oh, I forgot. For the for this. I'm gonna put it in the oven and grill it, but I'm gonna cook it in beef tallow. I really wasn't a beef tallow girl. My husband was the one who brought this into the house. And I must say, it takes the flavor of meat cooking, just does something to it. It's kind of like an MSG. It just gives it some type of je ne sais quoi. So cooking it in beef tallow.
And what kind of, it says American Angus beef
American
tallow.
Angus. Some get the Wagyu, whatever. I don't care what brand you use. Beef tallow is delicious. It's so good. And it's not expensive. It really isn't. For the mac and cheese, you need some flour. Got that in my trusty jar. Old school status. And then, of course, you gotta have a green, a veggie. Good old Walmart fine, long, whole green beans, sauteed with some organic olive oil, of course, and garlic, salt, and pepper. Very simple, very easy. So let me go ahead and get us prepped and ready. I got a pot of water on low. I got my grilling pan there. This is going to be a very quick, very efficient, very delicious dinner. Let's get into it. The catch and the kitchen. Catch it, cook it, eat it. Okay, y'all, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Like I said, I have water already on low, doing this little thug dizzle, and then I have my pan. I'm going to go ahead and set my oven to 350 because I'm going to finish off those pork chops in the oven. Now, before I start with the pork chops, I just want to go ahead and prep the cheese because, again, it is pre-packaged, shredded cheese. And I didn't even tell you the types of cheese I got. I got sharp cheddar, and I think this is shredded Colby Jack. Okay? So, what you want to do, open up your cheeses. I got here a bowl and a little strainer. You're going to take that cheese and stick it into that bowl. If you never heard of doing this before, you're going to learn today. It's a little popcorn way to do it, but it's efficient. Trust me. So, you got that cheese. We'll make sure the water is on cold. Stick it in the water and let that run. And what you want to do is you want to take that cheese. You see that? Let me move my trash out the way. You want to take that cheese and get that inside the water. Now, to get it on the top, I'm going to run that cheese through like that. And it's just going to get that like cornstarchy film that they put on the cheese to keep it from sticking. You see that? All that little cornstarchy film. It's going to get that off. And we're going to do one more. Just one more. Again, fill up the bowl. I feel like that's the best way to like control it so that the water goes where you want it to go. Fill up a little higher this time. And I'm going to take that cheese and put that right in and just shake it. Just like that. Yeah. And we got that cornstarch. Are we going to get it 100% off? No. But it's going to get most of it off so it doesn't mess up the integrity. Then I'm just going to take that cheese, stick it in a bowl, sit in the sink until I'm ready. And that way, while I'm cooking, it could be straining and all the rest of that water could be getting out, okay? So in the meantime, let's get to these pork chops. All right, y'all. So we have our pork chops out the package. They're already pre-seasoned, but I'm going to add a little bit more love to them. Like I said, my MSG. I'm going to just pull these pork chops together. And I'm going to go ahead. Now, listen, MSG doesn't have any salt in it. Some do, but the accent doesn't. So there's no salt. So you could season freely, but don't overdo it. Now, I got this Raging Cajun. Just take a light dusting. That's it. Really light, really easy. And I'm going to do that for both sides. Ooh. And then again with the Raging Cajun, just a really light dusting because I don't want to oversalt the food. Right. So, boom. That's the love that I got for that. Now, I need to go ahead and get my pan ready. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that on high, sky high. Don't worry. Beef tallow really don't burn that fast, in my opinion. But once it melts, I'm going to go ahead and just get that meat right in there. So I'm going to take this beef tallow. Some of it's already kind of like, I think it's called emulsified, right? I think that's the word, babe, right? Emulsified.
I think so.
In a jar.
Honey, I really don't.
I would say for these 3 pieces of meat, and of course the pork is going to render out its own fat. I think I used about, 2.5, 3 tablespoons? I feel like that's good. We're going to let that just get nice and hot. Get all around that pan. Y'all, I love my little grill pan. I love it. I wish it was bigger, but I love it. It's my baby. I like to stick my spoon in there and let it get hot as well a little bit so that the rest of the tallow can just melt off. So our beef tallow is melted down and you can already smell, it's like a beefy flavor, a umami, like mildness. Like it really is so good. Like this stuff is good. And I'm going to take a piece of that pork chop. Lay it right up in there. I think I could get 2 in here, babe. And then I'm going to turn that heat down. Yeah, I think I could fit 2 up in there. Let me take one more. Come on, pork chop, don't fight me. There we go. I'm going to stick that baby right up in that pan. And I'm going to let that do its thing. So what you want to understand about these pork chops is you don't really need to cook this well done in this pan. You just needing to grill it for color. It's going to finish itself in the oven, and you don't want to cook it too long here because you want it to bake nice in the oven and it'll be nice and tender. And I love a bone-in pork chop because the bone just keeps that pig moist. So I got my garlic cloves. Let me see. I'm going to just, y'all, I wing it. I don't know how many I'm going to use in a moment, but I'm going to use them. Let me see. Those kind of got something coming out of them. My daughter was outside on the patio, and she like, no, mommy and daddy is in the kitchen where the happenings is at. So she like, I'm coming in the kitchen. Y'all could keep y'all recording for yourself. I'm coming in the kitchen, like it or not. So we ain't got a 4-year-old. They win. That's the way the cookie crumbles. So I would say about, what's that, 5 cloves?
1, 2, 3, 4.
You definitely want that garlic flavor to pop. I like to cut off any funny looking spots. Cut the bases. And again, quick little rough chop. That's it. That's all it needs. It could be big chunks. It'll cook down in that sauce with those green beans. And the green beans are going to generate its own sauce. Trust me. So now let's get back to these pork chops. So now let's see what it's looking like. Again, it's all about the color. Yes.
Yeah, that looks good.
That's the color you want. So I'm going to flip these babies. You got to turn this around this way so it can fit. Look at that. So now I'm going to cook that on that side. Turn it down just a bit because I don't want it to stay this beautiful color. Look at that. Now, it might get a slight bit darker in the oven, but it's okay. It's going to maintain that beautiful look when you serve that meal. And I'm just going to take these pork chops and put them right back on the pan I seasoned them on. Right in the oven. Set it and forget it. Pretty much. Now, I'm doing the green beans right after because once the mac and cheese is done, it's time to plate. So the green beans will be sitting on low. And I mean, the softer green beans, the better. I feel like I don't really like a green bean with a crunch. I like a nice tender green bean. So them sitting on low won't hurt at all. And then once you get the mac and cheese done, then it's ready. This is really going to be a quick, easy meal. Trust me. All right, y'all. So I just pulled out the last pork chop. This is what that looks like. Look at that. That looks really good, right? So now simply pop that baby in the oven. And you just let that sit in there until dinner's ready. It'll be done by then, okay? Now, we still have our pan. We got all that beef tallow, all that grill. It's got like a smoky scent to it. And so I believe this is going to add an extra layer of seasoning to the dish. So let's go ahead and get started with the green beans. So we got our pan, still nice and smoky from that seasoning and that pork. I like to take just a tad bit of olive oil. I like that olive flavor with my green beans, but you can smell like that porkiness, that beef tallow. It just smells amazing. So it'll only add more flavor. We're gonna go ahead and go in with that garlic. The pan is nice and hot. Now I know it's a grill pan, but it'll be fine. Because you see all of this stuff at the bottom, all that stuff that's stuck, and you can already smell the garlic. This right here, the beauty of that is that, and this is why you want frozen green beans. Frozen green beans have a lot of water, right? So now, you take those green beans, get that in there. That water, get that string out. That water is going to start to melt and evaporate, and now that garlic is cooking, and the water is going to pull up all that flavor that got stuck on the bottom of the pan. It's a method to the madness. Now I'm going to go ahead and season it. I got some pepper. This is my trusty dusty tricolor. Right there. And I got some Dead Sea salt that I wanted to try. It's nice chunky rock salt. So I'm gonna put about, I feel like this much is good. Put that in, right? Now I had the pan down for a little bit because I wanted to make sure that that tallow and stuff didn't burn. Now I'm gonna take a little piece of aluminum foil. Listen, it don't have to be a big piece. It's just to kind of keep some of that steam inside. So I'll take just a little piece, stick it on top, and let it cook and let it render down. And that's pretty much it. That's just gonna cook and do its own thing. That's our string beans. And I'll come back and a little bit stir it up. So we got our pork chops already in, string beans on go. I'm about to go ahead and get started on this mac and cheese. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna turn these green beans down. They've been cooking, and I want to just show you how they look. So again, that water from the beans pull all that flavor off. And now I'm just going to stir it. You see that garlic? It's sucked in all that flavor. I mean, if you're going to make a green bean, I feel like this is the way to do it. Okay? And so now, that looks delicious. I'm going to actually put that to the back in a little bit and let that cook on low. But in the meantime, we got to get started on the noodles. Now, we have to do the noodles first before we do the cheese sauce because we need the noodles done and kind of cooled off. And then we're going to put it in the hot cheese sauce and roll it around. It'll be perfect. So, for this specific recipe, we need chicken pollo. We are going to season our water with that chicken seasoning. And I'm going to be generous because I want this mac and cheese to hit. Okay? Get that all in there. And then I'm going to take this whole bag of these noodles and that rolling boil. So now we're going to stir that. And the package says to cook it for 10 to 12 minutes. As y'all know, we don't learn real quick. Don't trust that pack. I'm going to set the timer for 9 minutes. I'm going to let that cook on a rolling boil. You can already smell the chicken. This is going to be good. Now, this is my first time making this recipe. I got this recipe from online. But again, make it with me. You'll know what you really need to do. This looks good. We're going to get this going. And I'm going to go ahead and let's look at these green beans one more time. Yeah, those look ready to sit on low and just let them marinate in each other on low heat. But I mean, baby, that looks good. That smells good. That's going to be a perfect complement to them pork chops. See you in a bit. You guys, so I've had my string beans sitting on low. My timer just went off. I tasted it. I'm taking it out because it's still going to cook. I don't want to rinse this noodle because I want the chicken flavor to stay on the noodle. So it'll still be cooking and it'll be perfect al dente based off of what I tasted. So I'm just going to pour those noodles. Smell that chicken, babe. Can't see it. And so we're just going to let that sit. It's going to still cook, but it's going to be perfect for when we make our cheese sauce. It's going to be perfect. And I'm going to go ahead and use the same pan and make my cheese sauce. Let's get started. All right, y'all. So we are ready to make our cheese sauce. All right. I'm nervous, but we're going to do this thing. Okay. In this cup, the flour, 5 tablespoons. And we're going to start with 5 tablespoons of butter. So,
and that's salted butter, right?
Salted butter. You could do unsalted, but I like salted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to cut off a good 5 tablespoons of butter. Turn that pan up a bit and get that in the pan. Now I'm doing exactly what I was told on the video. We tasted the noodles. The person on the video was right because it's hitting. So now we're going to let that butter melt. And once we get that liquefied, that's when we're going to do the rest. Now, also, just so you guys are ready, I have 2.5 cups of whole milk. Okay? And I don't know if I mentioned mustard in my seasoning, but in this particular recipe, you're going to use a bit of mustard with your seasonings. I don't know if I mentioned it, but if I did, you heard it again. So while that butter is melting, we're going to go ahead and get started with our measurements. So I have my teaspoon measure. I feel like for pepper, I'm going to do a 1/4 teaspoon because pepper can get spicy and I just don't want to overwhelm the dish. So I'm going to put about 1/4 teaspoon of pepper in the butter. Yes, in the butter. Okay. And then garlic powder. 1 full teaspoon of garlic powder in the butter. And not lastly, we still got one more. Another full teaspoon of paprika. Paprika is the star of this show, so we will not be stingy on the paprika and the garlic. Let me see, can I get you to come out? 1 full teaspoon of paprika. You can already see that that butter is cooking that season, toasting that season. That's what we want. And now mustard. He said about 1 teaspoon, so I'm gonna gauge it. Yes. I'm gonna say about that much. That's about a good teaspoon. You shouldn't need much salt because you know mustard has salt, and so the butter's already salted. So it shouldn't need much salt. But I mean, I don't know if you can smell, baby.
That smells delicious.
You smell that paprika and all of that? All right. So now we add our flour, our 5 tablespoons of flour right in. And we start to mix that in. Look at that color. Now I'm going to turn this off because this is my electric eye I be complaining about. Sometimes it want to do its own thing and I do not want my stuff to burn. So now, once it gets to looking like that, like a nice roux, and it smells absolutely amazing, that's when we're going to go ahead and add our milk. Let me grab that milk, baby. You're going to grab that whole milk, and we're going to start to get that in real slow. You take your time. You don't rush it. Take your time because you don't want no chunks. I turned my eye off because I didn't want it to get too hot, but I'm mixing it, and this is the consistency that you want of that good old roux. I'm just going to keep mixing. I want to make sure that all of that, no chunks is in there with the flour. I want that milk to be fully incorporated. All right, you guys, you see that consistency? So this is how it's looking. Mixing it in. I did add an extra 1/2 cup. I felt like the recipe is said 2.5 cups, but I felt like another half a cup of milk did it. Because again, I want a certain consistency. And now we have that cheese that we cleaned off. We're just gonna, so now we have that cheese we cleaned off. We're just gonna get that in there and start mixing that in. You could just toss it all in. That good old wet cheese that's been rinsed off. Just get it right up in there. Okay, let's start mixing it in. And we're gonna whip this buddy until that cheese melts fully through. This is a very easy recipe. So now, we didn't say to do this, but Bev being the chef that I am, I'm gonna take some more of that chicken bouillon seasoning. Better than that. What you think?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. That looks amazing. That's the cheese sauce. So now, I'm gonna add some chicken bouillon up in that. I'm gonna say about a palmful. Another half of a palm and a half. Put that in there. Now I don't want to add too much seasoning just yet till I get the noodles in there and we get the full flavor because the noodles are seasoned as well. But the sauce is ready. So now let's go ahead and I'm gonna get a spoon for this. We're gonna go ahead and get this in there. All right, y'all. Cheese sauce is ready. We got our noodles. Just take my time. I don't want to make a mess. Oh, she want to run up in that sauce real quick. And then we're just going to fold that baby in. Look at that.
Man, that look good.
Mm-hmm. So you could get boxed mac and cheese. You could do it. But you could make it yourself. And you know what's in your food. And again, I don't judge, baby. That box, you do what you can afford. But sometimes treat yourself. If you could make it like this, do it. And if you can't, mama, do not judge. I get it. But that right there. You hear that mix? You hear that? That's what that's about. And that's ready. Now let's see these green beans. You see them green beans? Them green beans is ready. Them green beans got a lot of time to have a lot of love. But hold on. The grand finale. Now we're ready for the grand finale. Mac and cheese is done. We turn the oven off. String beans is done. And now we're going to take this beautiful piece of work out. And we're going to see what Bev did with this pre-packaged meat. Let's see. Y'all see that? Yeah. That's fire. That looks delicious. Look at that. Mm-hmm. I know. Y'all ain't even got to say nothing. I know. And then we got our green beans right here. And the star of the show, a mac and cheese. Look at that. I'm going to plate this up. And we're going to have ourselves a nice little Sunday dinner. Get this plate plated. We're going to get going. Babe, what, you want this cut, or this cut?
I want that cut right there.
This big old gangster cut right here. I'm going to take
much.
that big old beautiful chunk of pork chop. Lay it right there. And then we got those beautiful green beans that my husband hates. But he's going to eat them.
Yeah, I'm going to eat some.
You're going to eat these green beans. You're going to eat these green beans. That's what I know. And we got all this mac and cheese. And we gonna scoop that mother right there. I mean, this is a good old all-American dinner. It don't get no more American than this, y'all. How much? That's good, baby?
Yeah, that's good.
You want another scoop?
That's perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the meal. This is the deal. And hold up. Y'all know I like to have a drink ready for my hubby. Berry Bliss, Chateau Elan. Baby, this one costs $3. Light and easy. Baby. Oh, that's cute too. Little wine. Y'all, this is my husband's dinner on Sunday. Okay, babe. What you think of that pork?
Pork is very good. It's delicious. The mac and cheese is delicious. I have not tried the green beans yet. It's probably gonna be the last thing I try. But very good, babe.
Good?
Very good.
All right.